So, hello everyone. Welcome to Help Desk Live, episode 20. My name is Nathaniel Rippin, and today I am joined by the founder of InterLace, Mr. Eric Coopey, and we are also joined by a physics teacher at Boston University Academy, Mr. Gary Garber. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
So, let's get started. Eric, could you please start off by explaining the features and benefits of InterLace and describing how it works?
Sure. So there's an urgent need to equip students with the knowledge and skills they need to compete and succeed in the global economy. And a lot of schools lack the learning environments to address this, especially in STEM education. So InterLace significantly improves engagement and learning outcomes by offering tools to help students develop a broad range of science process skills, such as collaboration, critical thinking, and problem solving. It started out as a research project about 4 years ago at Tufts University, and it's purposefully designed to support interactive and adaptive instruction both in face-to-face and online learning settings. It's a cloud-based digital whiteboard that really enables students to quickly capture, share, analyze, and improve their ideas. And what we do better than anyone is sort of really take advantage of the power, the multimedia capabilities of today's devices. I mean, you guys have iPads. Every one of you has an iPad. Yes. And InterLace is fantastic. It's sort of really letting the power of that device come through. So using the camera to take pictures and videos and upload them right to InterLace, sketching right on the device on top of graphs and diagrams, it really sort of takes advantage of the power of modern devices. And so we work with teachers to sort of make their classrooms more interactive. So that's really what InterLace is all about, helping students to share their ideas, to work with each other's ideas so that you now know what other students are thinking, and then really helping you helping the teacher give that sort of constant feedback of actual student ideas. Can I'll do the screen share? We'll do like a quick 2-minute walkthrough of sort of the system.
That sounds fantastic.
All right. Let me know. It should be coming through. Are we there?
Yep.
All right, so say you're in an AP Physics class. The teacher has assigned you. These are all of the assignments you have in InterLace. There's different ways of working in InterLace. So for homeworks and quizzes, you actually log in with your individual accounts. But one thing, especially in science, is students do a lot of teamwork. So we have a very flexible system that allows you to actually join as a team of students. So in this one, I'm going to say I'm Dylan and John and Wu. We're working together as a team. So we can actually join, and all three of us will get credit for all of the work that we do. So think about this as sort of an in-class activity. So we're doing a Newton's third law. This is our overview. So Newton's third law has 4 different prompts. So the students in their small groups work together in these small prompts, and these work together through the prompts. So this one up here at the top, this is the content area. So the teacher can fill this prompt with whatever rich media they want: videos, simulations, text. This is sort of what the students are supposed to be working on. So a lot of times this would happen, on a piece of paper, but now we can do this much more digitally. So here's a video. Watch the video. Hypothesize about the size of an object. And what's great about this is you can't actually see. Other students have posted ideas here. It says all the posts are hidden, but you can't actually see it until you put your idea out there. So we'll say it's a direct relationship. And so once you submit your idea, then all of a sudden, sort of the entire class's ideas become visible to you. And what's really great about this is we actually have these are actually sticky notes, so all these can be moved around. So it's sort of a meta-level analysis. Now that you've done the work, you've answered the idea, you put your idea out there, students can actually start to group these together. So directly related. So we sort of see now that a lot of people think that it's a very directly related relationship between force or mass and gravitational pull, but we've got some people who have a different idea. And so if we move to the next prompt, it's a very similar thing. So this one shows how it takes advantage of our sketching tool. So in this one, we want to go to the sketch tool, and it says to capture the idea to sketch the graph. So what would the graph between it look like? So this works great on phones, iPads, any device, built right into InterLace. You can sketch right on top of a graph or a diagram. Save it to your post. As soon as I submit it, again, I've got all these ideas now at my disposal. So we can start to really describe. So then the teacher puts this at the front of the room, and they can really sort of break down what's the difference between these ideas. So we've got this option here. If you hover over, it says compare. So we put 2 ideas side by side, and it gives you a really good sense that you can really now see the subtle differences between these ideas. And the best part, you can actually drop these on top of one another. So now you see there's clearly a difference between these ideas, and it gives an opportunity for the students that put these ideas out there to discuss, compare, contrast, really work through it as a group to sort of come to a conclusion of what the right answer would be. And so the students would work through each of those, and as I said, we really take advantage of the multimedia power of devices. Students can really create some really rich things. So there's embedded math editors. You can create all of your formulas in here, or the 5. So you can really build creative. You can embed YouTube videos, tables, images, take pictures, sketches, pretty much any way that you can represent something. We have a way of getting it in. So if you're doing something in Excel, I can just take a screenshot of it, go back to InterLace, paste it in, and just like that, I've got my idea put into InterLace. So it's about getting what students are doing, capturing what they're doing, and getting it submitted fast. And that's really what InterLace does. It's a very visual system that takes advantage of the power of modern devices. So that's sort of the student view, what you guys are most interested in. From the teacher's side, there's all kinds of reports and analytics on the students or what they're doing, but we won't get into that. So that's the 3-minute tour there, guys. Let me stop sharing my screen and come back.
Well, all
right. Are we back?
Yes, you are back.
All right, go ahead then.
So what grade levels and content areas does InterLace work best with?
So we believe it works with any content level. Most of our teachers are STEM teachers. It was really designed by STEM teachers. Gary was one of the teachers who was with us early on, who was part designer, part tester, and so really, the visual nature of it really lends itself well to the STEM field, and generally 9th grade and higher.
And as you said, InterLace is compatible with all devices?
Works on anything. Nothing to install, no apps, no plugins, no anything, all HTML5. It is built on top of a responsive framework, so whatever device you're using, it automatically adjusts the content to sort of take advantage of every pixel you've got. Oh, we were doing good. Did we lose you?
I still see Eric, but they dropped out.
All right. No, I cannot hear you. Looks like we're having some technical difficulties, so if we're still recording, the next question on the interview list was feedback we received from students and teachers, and it's been fantastic. The teachers love it. They sort of get to see what students are thinking and doing, and the students really enjoy it. It's a platform that they really like. They actually like seeing each other's ideas, and they like sharing their ideas. And it's sort of a very responsive platform that students are able to capture what they're doing and what they're thinking easily. All right, so I think we're still recording, but we can't hear.
All right, the next question is mine.
Just left.
They said just go through the questions.
Yeah. We'll give them a couple seconds to come back and see if they get back.
I can say I first looked. The next question was, how did I learn about InterLace? And I learned about it because I was spending a sabbatical year at Tufts University, and that's how I became part of the InterLace team. And you're back.
And I'm back. Sorry for the technical difficulties, some authentication issues. So we worked past it, and now I'm back. So what was the last question that was answered? I was out for a few seconds.
I was saying how I got involved with InterLace is I was spending a sabbatical year at the Center for Engineering and Education Outreach at Tufts University.
Okay. So what have the students' reactions been to the tool?
The students love it, and for this reason is normally, you might have a lecture-based class, or even if it were a somewhat discussion-based class, often what we found is the teacher might ask a question, and several students would raise their hands, but only one student would get a chance to answer, and maybe they would answer right, maybe they would answer wrong. But the nice thing about InterLace is all the students can answer the question at the same time. And what happens is you start out with a virtual conversation. So the kids, let's say, are answering in groups of 3, and they can see each other's answers. And after you have this virtual conversation, then you have a verbal conversation. And it's class-wide. So really it's giving every kid a voice. So instead of the teacher asking a question and only one student who raises his hand getting a chance to answer, all the students get a chance to answer the question. So it really gives every student a voice. And part of the pedagogy is not to emphasize so much a right answer or a wrong answer, but to compare answers. And then, let's say we have several different types of responses. The teacher, as a facilitator, would say, all right, what is different between these answers, and why are they different?
So I can see the students have been loving it. So the other question is, what's the learning curve for teachers as they are learning how to use the product?
You know, it's a pretty easy system to use. There's no programming. You don't need to know HTML to program it. For the most part, for writing lessons, it's really it's just click and drag. So it's, so the technology end is pretty easy. The biggest adjustment is the idea of the pedagogy, that you as a teacher need to listen more and talk less.
So Eric showed us the student side of the application. Any way you could show us the teacher side?
Yeah, sure. Let me go into a screen share. And okay, you should be able to see my screen now. And here we're seeing a dashboard of like all the lessons I've done recently. And if we go into one of them, like I use it often for experimental work and discussions, So again, this is a little bit of the student side, but also everyone sees this. But one of the interesting things just to show here is this was an experiment we were just doing a few days ago, and so the kids here, you can see they were documenting their procedure. So they took photos of all their equipment, and then they were uploading their data onto the system. So some of them were just taking pictures of notebooks of some of their data. And then they were making graphs of their data, and then, so you can see that here. What does the teacher's dashboard look like? Let's go back to the dashboard, and let's say I wanted to create. I want to create. If I go into one of these, let's say this gas law experiment. If I want to edit it, you can see I've got several sessions. I could easily write or edit questions, so I can edit a question, and so really that's what it looks like. And if I want to embed a video, really, I could just click on YouTube and I can embed a video right into the questions. So it's pretty straightforward and easy. Again, no real programming. If you wanted to do some of the more advanced things, you could do that, but you don't need to know any programming to use it as a teacher.
So one of our other questions is, did it replace any tools or pieces of technology you guys were using before InterLace?
For me, it replaced the paper lab notebook, so I don't know if you'd call that a piece of technology. So I've gone from a paper notebook with individually written notebooks to an online digital collaborative workspace. I was using WebAssign as a homework database, and I'm transitioning into using InterLace for homework instead. What's nice is, instead of thinking about InterLace as replacing technology, is to enhance technology. So I use a lot of hands-on data probes. I use Lego robots. I use vernier probes and sensors in my classroom. And you take all the data and the results from your sensors or from your robots, and then you can upload that into InterLace. And so, in that sense, it's not replacing but enhancing.
I mean, that's fantastic. And as you said earlier, the students have been responding really well to the technology, and they're loving it. What I've been told is you've been using it almost daily for the past 3 years. And
correct.
Students have been coming in and loving it, and that's great to hear. So I don't know if you guys know, but I'm actually one of the 3 leads on my robotics team, and hopefully we can try to integrate it into the robotics world, trying to teach students, our teammates, how to do certain things with like our talons, or how to machine certain parts, or how to do a workflow, or how to talk to sponsors, or what have you. So hopefully we can get something like that on the way shortly. So do you guys have any questions for anyone in the chat, for me?
Sure. So is there something that you guys at Burlington are just sort of evaluating? Is there something that you think that is comparable, or that you like better than something you're currently using?
So for some of our work management, some teachers use Edmodo, some teachers use Google Classroom, and Edmodo does some of the work of InterLace where you can see other students' work or collaborate. As Google Classroom, not as much. So I believe that InterLace, if combined with some of the fundamentals, such as, like I said, Google Classroom, what have you, it'd be a great addition to the technology that's available at Burlington High School as we speak.
All right.
Great, thank you.
That's all I had.
That sounds fantastic. And I think we are out of time.
That's what the bell means.
That's what the bell means. So I'd like to say thank you guys again for coming here and being part of Help Desk Live episode 20. It's been a great discussion, and InterLace, as we all know, is a great product, and hopefully more schools will be using it in the near future.
Thanks a lot, Nathan.
Take care.
You too, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.